Okay, for this first activity, I am going to demonstrate how you're going to do this, and then you're going to do something very similar by yourself on the next slide, okay? So they want you to do the fraction, the unit fraction, and the whole. So when we're talking about a unit fraction is one part of your fraction. So a unit fraction is going to have a numerator of 1. One part of my fraction of 3/4 would be 1/4, okay? My whole would be 4/4, okay? So I'm going to break my fraction up. And I'm doing 4 parts in my fraction because my denominator is 4, and your denominator tells you the equal parts in your whole. And then I'm going to shade 3 of them because that is what my fraction is representing. Okay? Now, my unit fraction, when you're asking to find a unit fraction, you're just wanting to find 1 unit of the whole fraction. 1 unit of the whole fraction would just be 1/4. And then your whole would be 4/4. That's the whole thing being shaded because you have 4 equal parts and 4 of those parts are being shaded. Okay, so here's 5/8. And remember, when you're making this, I want you to make it as even as possible. Again, I'm human and I'm not going to be able to make it perfect, but I'm going to try to do my best, okay? 5/8. I want to shade 5 of my 8. I have 8 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because the denominator of my fraction is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So when I ask you to shade, you don't have to shade perfect. This will do just fine, okay? Then I'm going to do my unit fraction. And again, I have to break up my circle into my fraction pieces. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I only want to shade the unit fraction. A unit fraction has a numerator of 1, and I know my denominator is still going to be 8. So I only want to shade 1 of the 8. And then my whole. My whole, so my denominator is 8. Here are my 8 pieces. And if I want to represent the whole thing, I would be shading 8 of them. There's all 8 of them being shaded. Okay? Sometimes you'll see the fraction written as 8/8 or 4/4, but this also equals, I want you to realize this equals 1 whole. Okay, so this whole thing is shaded. So if you saw this on a number line, and let's just do 0 to 1, this is 1/4. This would be 2/4. This would be 3/4. And then it has 1. Where's 4/4? 4/4 is right here. Okay? So sometimes on your number line, you won't see this. You won't see your fraction written with the same numerator and denominator. You'll see 1 or the whole number that it is. But that is where 4/4 would be going on your number line. Or this could have been 8/8 if I had broken this up into 8s. Okay, so let's look at this next one. Into thirds. 2/3. Okay? And this is a number line, so this is what I want broken up into thirds. 1, 2, 3. So if I want to shade 1, 2, there is 2/3 shaded, okay? If I only want my unit fraction of 1/3 to be shaded, and it could have been shaded, or I could have done jumps. That would have been fine too. And there is 3/3 or 1 whole. Sorry, you can't see that. 3/3 or 1 whole being shaded. Okay, so it's your turn to do this on the next slide.